Good morning, everybody. PJ here. Made a couple of these videos on these antennas before, and they end up so super long. I'm gonna try to get all this in as short as I can to compare these two, just on the aspects of size, bands, what they cover, what they come with, price. So I'm gonna try to keep it fairly simple. I like to ramble, so I get off on talking about something sometimes. This is the Elecraft AX1 HF antenna. It's got the telescoping whip. Uh, Advertises as really just like a 10, 17, 15. Says it'll do 10, so 10 and 12, but you'll need an antenna tuner to do those. And I've noticed, like, trying to tune it on those, you can't get it super low. So I would say this is basically 15, 17, and 20 on a good, fairly resonant portion, if you're looking at it that way, in terms of like getting your SWR down in a match. With 10 and 12 meters, it takes a little more work. Antenna comes with a 13-foot counterpoise. Both of these will use a counterpoise, so added extra things that you need for this one. It's really nothing, as long as you've got a BNC connector on your rig or whatever. Not much to keep up with. It's this right here. It is right at 6 inches long. So, I mean, pretty small. Weighs 3.2 ounces. And you can see it's got a little switch right here that you can switch in between 17 meters and 20 meters. So up 17 meters and 15, and down here is 20 meters. One thing about this antenna is when I put it up, I just extend the whip out as far as it'll go, set on 20 meters, and it's flat. It's flat all the way across the band. I don't really have to do anything else with it. That, of course, is with the counterpoise on the radio, 13 feet. So it tunes straight out of the box just like that. I didn't have to do anything else. No adjustment on the, I didn't have to, like, slowly adjust the length of the whip to make it better. It was just flat. 17 meters, I can flip it 17 meters and it was the same way. They've got it tuned pretty good for that, them two bands. So if you're a POTA operator or something, you're just on 20 meters, or you want a casual, during contest days, and you don't want to go to the other bands, you can go to the work bands, at least on 17 meters, and have that one. Like I say, 10 and 12, I found it a little bit harder to actually get on it. I think I never really got it. It was a little under a 3-to-1, maybe a 2 point something. I can't remember. Not super bad, but it wasn't that great. But antenna tuner, if you got one on your radio, is probably a must for those bands. But the other two, out of the box, they just tune up 20 meters, 17 meters, 3.2 ounces, super light, little bitty antenna. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's pretty small. Next to it here, I have Comet HFJ-350M toy box antenna is what they call it. Comes with a few more components. Let me take out the parts that it doesn't come with. Excuse me. Because out of the box, this is what you get. You get the coil. You get the little tap wire. Got 2 taps on it, so you can tap it. You get the whip. You get a 160 meter coil, and you get an 80 meter coil. You get all of this in the box. You don't get the counterpoise. I had to make a counterpoise. I got one over here on the desk that I made for this one. 13 foot, same as that. So I just used this one now in between them. I made it where it'd work on stuff for either side. I can either hook it there, or I have this barrel kind of thing. Like I say, this one covers way more bands, as you can see, with all the added stuff. So 160 meters. pretty big. You put all these together, which makes this really big, long antenna. You wouldn't put this on top of your HT or on your radio and use it as a HT like you would probably with this, or even just this. But yeah, so this you'd put it on a stand, which is where I bought this from Elecraft too. So that way I can put this on like a camera mount with the counterpoise on one side and then the antenna. So if you had this big old thing on there, you'd need something like this on a stand, I would think. 160 meters. I'll put that to the side because I'm probably not going to use it. 80 meters. Probably could use it. I haven't really tried it yet, but it'd be worth a try. Not big on those bands per se, just to, I mean, I know it's good for local, so I mean, it'd be nice to put in your pack, but with this right here, that weighs almost as much as this does by itself, so I'd say you'd be close, probably 12 ounces with just these. But getting down to what would probably be the biggest comparison between the two here, if you take out the other nice features that comes with the 350M toy box antenna. This one is a little bit longer. It's right around 7¼ ish, 7/3/8, something like that. Long, so a little bit longer. Not a whole lot. I mean, if you put them side by side, you know what I mean, it's not too bad. This one comes with BNC. This one comes with a PL259. So you'll have to get you an adapter for BNC if you have, like I'm going to use it on HT or even on like this. This is a BNC or whatever. So you'd have to get you a BNC connector. No big deal. In some ways that's actually probably good, because this one I feel like if I was to sit on it or step on it or whatever reason break this, changing this wouldn't be as easy. So I'd probably have to either send it back to Elecraft, or if you're pretty handy, this one does come apart. You can unscrew this, slide the whole thing out, and I can see where it goes up in there and how they've got it together. If you needed to repair it, probably pretty easy to do, because there ain't a whole lot to it. I mean, it's the coils, you got the board that it goes across, they just use it in the switch, and of course their tap point for the BNC connector. But anyway, if you was to break that, you'd probably have to do it. This one you just have to buy another connector and put on it. But that being said, with this and this weighs 3.2 ounces. This right here weighs 6.2 ounces. I can't remember if that's without the connector. I think that's with it, but I could be wrong. So maybe a ½ ounce more or something for the connector. But a lot more bands. This right here, just this coil here, and this is 10/40. It's got tap points. You put your bottom tap in your common if you're doing 10/20 or 6 meters, whatever. If you go up here, you got like your tap points. So you'll do that and just move it down, and from there you would adjust the whip. So like wherever you had the whip, you put it on there, you just lower it down till you hear the noise floor go up, and when it goes up, check SWR and then fine tune it. And this one I've gotten flat on every one of these bands just by doing the taps and moving the coil, or the whip. But super handy little antenna for the money. That's the thing. This one's $109 Elecraft. I can't remember if I said it when I bought it. I might, like I say, I made a couple of videos and I can't remember what I've said in each one, but this one I had to wait on. It was I don't even remember how long I waited, but it was on back order when I ordered it, and I ordered it and I didn't realize that. So I waited and waited and waited, and then I got on their site and I was like, oh, okay, it's back ordered. They ain't gonna be able to ship it out for a while. So I waited. Roger had one of these, so I was like, well, I'll just get one of these and cancel this one. Well, then I got this one, then I got the thing. I was like, well, I've already spent the money. I still want my little bracket. I'll just wait, and that way I'll see, you know. So now I got two of them. But this one, Amazon, $109. Giga parts, you're gonna pay more. Even if you pay the extra, I mean, it's probably worth it in my opinion if you want a little antenna like this, because But for now, Amazon's got them $109. That's where the cheapest place you can get them. And for the bands that you get, I mean, that's not a bad deal. Because, I mean, it's a good little antenna. I'll make another little short video of me actually just tuning it and stuff. I ain't going to put it in this one. But this one and this one, just their sound comparison. Be hard to actually compare the two. On receive's probably going to be the same. I'm feeling like transmit would be about the same too, because they're about the same antennas. I mean, just key differences. Same size is what I mean. The whips. This whip's only 3 inches longer than this whip. The coils are about the same. So, or diameter is what I mean. Like this, the big around. So, I mean, I feel like they would be pretty comparable on that because they're both short antennas. So, you know, compromise antennas. They're not going to be like a delta loop or a, you know, big old dipole or anything like that. Or even like this chameleon 17-foot whip. You know, they're just not going to get it. They're nothing as heavy either, though. This one I can do 10 through 20. Easy setup, and probably will. That's really what I want to use. This right here is actually for, and the reason I got them is so like if I'm on the boat out in the middle of the lake, families out there, I ain't got a lot of room to do a bunch of stuff, I can throw this on the Zygo here. I can just put this straight on top of it, make some contacts. Same if I'm hiking, go up on the mountain, I just want to stop for 10-15 minutes, see what I want to do, you know, see if I can hear anybody, see what I can get. I can just throw one of these on top of this thing and talk. That's what I got them for. Emergency comms too. I mean, if you got this, and all this fits in the radio, or in the box. So I have just everything in one space. So when I pull it out, I mean, as long as this is charged up and I've got the antenna, I'm ready. You know, I can put this on. And like I say, I know I ain't gonna talk crazy. I mean, QRP too, so I mean, I'm not expecting a whole lot, but I bet you I'll be able to make some pretty good 20-meter contacts, maybe CW, probably some good local contacts, 40 meters, which is one thing I like about this one. It does 40 meters. Of course, you need a longer counterpoise if you use the 13 ain't going to work, so you need a longer counterpoise if you use 40. But 10 meters, I can tune it pretty flat with this one. And just little stuff like that. It'd be good for that. I will probably try these out. I've never even used 160. So I'd like to just see if this thing actually works. So it's just so big. I mean, this thing's going to be like forever tall if I put these on it. It's pretty good size when you put all this together. But like I say, you've got options. You've seriously got an antenna that's 6 meters through 160 in this right here. You know what I mean? Is it the best antenna? Probably not. But it's a short, compromised antenna. Most of us know, and I hope we know, unless you're just really new to HF, you know that this isn't going to talk everywhere you want it to talk. It's just not. It's a small antenna. You can only, power differences, which makes me think too. This one's rated 75 watts SSB. I didn't see the digital aspects of it, but I'm going to say that that's probably less, usually is, because you got more duty cycle. This one's only 30. This one they got on there is 30 watts. And again, if you're doing QRP, 10 watts, 20 watts, that's all you need. I mean, it's not, most people when they're going using something like this, they're not using full power at 100 watts or something. You know, they're just out in a park or up on a mountain or, you know, something like that, using 5 to 20 watts probably. So, but this one does cover a little bit more. So if you needed to run 50 watts, probably to make that extra boost in your signal, you got it with this one. But is there much difference between 30 watts and 50 watts? Maybe not. It depends on conditions, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, that's about it. And I'm going to try, so this video is going to get long too. And that's basically it. This is what you get with this one. You got to come up. I mean, this little thing seems to be put together pretty good. If it come apart, I would say I would probably be able to just use just a wire and stick in there, and hopefully, you know, get them big enough wire that would fit right in them little holes. But I don't know if I could remake that. I could probably find these little connectors somewhere, or you might be able to order one. I don't know, but it feels pretty good. You'd have to really bend it, I think, a bunch of times to break it. So, but that's it. Elecraft AX1, little slim, lightweight, portable antenna, and the Comet toy box antenna. Pretty cool. I can't wait to play with these really out in the field, because I like to compare them. I feel like I think they're going to be the same, but this one I really want to, just because I want to see if 80 meters and all that stuff, how it works. I know 40 works good on here. On this one, I did play with that. But anyway, that's the differences. A lot more bands with this one. A little more fiddling on the tuning. You got to tune it a little bit more. This one right here, you basically pull it out, put it together, and pull the whip out, put it on the radio, and it's tuned on 20. So it'd be perfect for like Poda or something like that versus this. Plus it's super lightweight. But I got two of them now, so we'll see. I'll get to mess with them anyways. So but that's it. Get it where you can see them good. So hopefully everybody gets that before I run out of time. There's a little switch. It's a 10, 20, and 17, if you can see it. Boy, I need better light in here. And this one's marked super clear. And you just tap it there. Alright, well, let's get out and play some radio. Y'all have a good AK4 PJ.